Start today's book summary by asking yourself one honest question. Are you truly living your life or just running through it? Most of us spend our days buried in notifications, chasing deadlines, and reacting to other people's priorities. We feel busy, but not better. Active, but not alive. But what if there's a way to take back control? What if you could focus on what matters, feel more present, and actually enjoy your time without quitting your job or moving to the mountains? That's exactly what today's book, Make Time, is here to teach you. If I asked you how your last month went, could you remember what you actually did? More importantly, can you recall a moment that genuinely made you happy? Chances are you'd struggle to answer. That's because most of us are so caught up in our endless to-do lists and digital distractions that we forget to actually live our lives. Make Time isn't about finding more hours in the day. It's not a typical time management book that tells you to hustle harder or squeeze in more tasks. Instead, it's a collection of simple, practical strategies designed to help you take control of your attention and focus on what truly matters. This book will show you how to break free from the mindless scrolling, the constant email checking, and the overwhelming feeling of always being busy, but never really getting anything meaningful done. Most people feel exhausted by midday, but what if you could carry your energy through the entire day? Inside these pages, you'll find techniques that not only boost your energy, but also help you stay energized and present from morning till night. One of the first things this book teaches is how to choose your highlight of the day, that one task or moment that deserves your full attention. It's the thing that, once done, will give you a deep sense of satisfaction. From there, you'll learn how to structure your entire day around that highlight, using strategies that are both effective and flexible. So now that you understand why Make Time is more than just another productivity book, let's dive into how you can start using the Make Time method to design your day with intention and joy. Highlight. You might assume this book is about planning your goals or squeezing more tasks into your day. But Make Time takes a very different approach. It's not about doing more. It's about noticing how you're actually spending your time and learning how to protect your attention from being hijacked by busyness. The first step in the Make Time formula is choosing your highlight of the day. This isn't necessarily a work-related task or something grand. It's simply one activity that you want to focus on, a task that takes around 90 minutes and brings a sense of satisfaction, joy, or progress. It could be reading a book, cooking for your family, or tackling an important assignment. To choose your highlight, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. What's the most pressing thing I need to get done today? 2. What one task would give me the most satisfaction? 3. What activity would make me happiest today? And when choosing, don't forget to listen to your heart. Back in 2008, John Zeratsky, Jay-Z, was living in Chicago. It was the dead of winter, cold, dark, and gloomy. Waking up early for work was becoming harder each day. Then, one morning, Jay-Z woke up and realized something strange. He couldn't remember anything specific about the past 2 months of his life. It wasn't memory loss. He wasn't sick. His job was good. He had friends. And his relationship was going well. From the outside, everything looked perfect. But inside, he felt blank, like those 2 months had simply disappeared. He tried to retrace his steps, searching for notes or reminders of what he had done. But there was nothing. Just an empty calendar filled with routine tasks. That's when it hit him. The reason those 2 months were forgettable wasn't because he was inactive. It was because he hadn't done anything meaningful. He had spent his time reacting to work, emails, and schedules, without choosing how to spend his days. Determined to change that, Jay-Z dove into productivity planning. He became obsessed with controlling every minute, making sure no moment went to waste. But even after filling his calendar with tasks and routines, he still felt disconnected from his own life. His days felt busy, yet meaningless. He was exhausted and uninspired, so he tried something new. Instead of focusing on increasing time or setting distant 5-year goals, he decided to focus on what mattered today. He dropped the obsession with long-term plans and began doing things he genuinely enjoyed. That summer, everything changed. Jay-Z started working out every morning for an hour. He spent weekends with friends, picked up sailing, and made time for activities that brought him joy outside of work. And for the first time in a long while, his days felt full, vivid, memorable, and fulfilling. He learned something powerful. Living a good life doesn't require doing more. It requires doing what matters, slowly, intentionally, and consistently. That's what the highlight is all about. It's not just another task. It's a daily anchor that brings meaning, joy, or progress. When you shift your focus to doing one thing that matters each day, your life becomes richer, not busier. Planning still has its place, but making space for what you truly enjoy each day is what creates a life worth remembering. Design your day. You might be wondering, who has time to focus on something as small as cooking a meal or reading a book? But here's the truth. If you don't make space in your calendar for what matters, you'll never truly enjoy your life. Like we said before, working all day without intention can make you forget what it means to actually live. That's why designing your day around your highlight is so important. Instead of letting your day unfold by chance, try planning it the night before. Set aside time for your highlight first, then arrange everything else around it. This way, you wake up already knowing what matters most, and you won't waste time wondering what to do next. At the end of the day, take a few minutes to reflect. What did you complete? What got pushed aside? If something didn't get done, it's not about guilt. It's a sign to adjust your approach and try a better method next time. Planning your day doesn't steal your freedom. It gives you more. It helps you stay organized, clear-headed, and ready to take on whatever comes next. And once your highlight is locked into your schedule, you won't have any excuses not to do it. You've already made it a priority. Let's look at an example from Sarah Cooper, a former Google employee. Sarah left her job to follow her dream of becoming a writer and comedian. She started scripting skits, filming short videos, and uploading them to her website, The Cooper Review. Her content quickly took off. Millions of people began to follow her work. Eventually, she signed a book deal and became an inspiration to many aspiring creators. So, how did she stay productive while working from home? Sarah explained that she planned every hour of her day. She used a notebook to divide her tasks into clear sections and reviewed her progress at the end of each day. Her routine wasn't rigid, it was intentional. You can do something similar by dividing your notebook into 3 columns: plan, actual, and revised. In the plan section, write down what you intend to do the night before. In the actual section, track what you actually did during the day. And in the revised section, note any changes you made along the way. The goal isn't perfection. You can't predict how every day will go, but when you consistently reflect and adjust, you begin to build a rhythm, a routine that works for your real life, not just your ideal one. And when unexpected moments come, and they will, you won't panic. You'll know exactly what to do because Your day was built with intention. So start today. Design your day around your highlight. Keep a notebook with you. Write things down. Track your energy. Review your plan. It's a small habit that leads to big results, and it helps you make time for what truly matters. Laser. Now that you've chosen your highlight, designed your day around it, and begun tracking your progress, it's time for the real challenge: focus. In today's world, focus is one of the rarest and most valuable skills. We're surrounded by distractions, messages, notifications, news, and apps constantly competing for our attention. That's why Make Time emphasizes the need to enter what the authors call laser mode, a state of deep, uninterrupted focus, where your mind becomes as sharp and concentrated as a laser beam. Getting into laser mode isn't always easy, but when you're working on something you truly care about, focus often comes naturally. The key is to protect your attention from being stolen. Distractions don't just slow you down, they rob you of your time, energy, and peace of mind. And relying on willpower alone isn't enough. You can't expect yourself to stay focused if your phone is buzzing every few minutes, or your environment is pulling your mind in different directions. That's why you need strategies, deliberate actions that remove distractions before they even reach you. This could mean blocking social media apps during your work hours, adjusting your workspace to reduce clutter, or using noise-canceling headphones. Try different approaches and find what works best for you. To understand how damaging distractions can be, let's look at Henriette's story. Henriette had developed a serious addiction to Facebook. She was constantly glued to her phone, unable to focus on anything meaningful. One day, she realized that she needed to take control of her life again, so she made a bold decision. She removed Facebook from all her devices for one full week. At first, it was incredibly difficult. The urge to check her feed was strong. But as the days passed, something unexpected happened. She didn't miss it, not even a little. In fact, she felt relieved. When the week ended, she chose to go one more week without Facebook, and then another. Eventually, weeks turned into months, 10 months to be exact. During that time, something interesting happened. Many of her casual friendships faded away. If she wanted to see someone, she had to call or meet them in person, and surprisingly, only a few people showed up. But that's when Henriette discovered who her real friends were. The people who cared about her made the effort. They called, they emailed, and their relationships deepened. At first it was hard, but Henriette felt something powerful growing inside her: freedom. She had taken back control of her mind. She no longer needed social media to feel connected or validated, and for the first time in years, she could focus fully on her work, her thoughts, her life. Many people fear that if they quit social media, they'll end up feeling isolated or irrelevant. But those who try it often describe something remarkable, a sense of peace and clarity they didn't know they were missing. Living without constant distraction is one of the greatest freedoms you can give yourself. You begin to reclaim your attention, your time, and your ability to be fully present in the moment. If you're always distracted, you're not really living. You're just reacting. And slowly, you lose control, not just of your time, but of your life. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your life should be controlled by you, not by your screen. So take back your attention. Enter laser mode and experience what it's like to live a life that's truly your own. Put a timer on the internet. Back in the early days of the internet, getting online wasn't easy. You had to dial a number, wait for the connection, and pay by the hour. It was slow, painfully slow. But that slowness had one hidden advantage. People only went online when they really needed to. Today, the internet is available 24/7, always on, always tempting. And that's one of the biggest challenges we face when trying to stay focused. When entertainment is just a tap away, why would anyone feel motivated to work? But if you want to achieve laser mode, deep, uninterrupted focus, you need to create boundaries. That means blocking access to the internet during your most important work. You can use software tools or browser extensions, switch off your Wi-Fi while working, or try living like it's the early 2000s, when going online took effort. Let's take the example of Jake, one of the authors of this book. Jake is a writer, and each night he would plan out his next day. He made time for his daily highlight, usually a writing session. But despite all his planning, Jake found himself constantly distracted by the internet. Every time he sat down to write, he ended up scrolling through sports news or checking emails. His mind pulled him toward his phone, toward distraction. What started with a quick email check turned into a chain of clicks, and soon he wasn't writing at all. By the end of the day, he felt guilty. He had wasted his time, and this didn't just happen once. It became a pattern. Days passed, and then weeks, without a single meaningful writing session. That's when Jake realized something had to change. If he truly wanted to reach his goals, he needed to take back control. So, he took a simple but powerful step. He spent $10 on a basic outlet timer and plugged his Wi-Fi router into it. Then, he set the timer to turn off the internet at exactly 9:30 p.m. By that time, the kids were in bed, the house chores were done, and the distractions of the day had settled. It was now his time to write. With the internet off, there were no more emails, no sports updates, no mindless browsing. For the first time in ages, Jake was fully present with his work. He opened his laptop and began writing, focused and energized. And it felt amazing. If you want to reach that same level of clarity and concentration, consider doing the same. Turn off the internet during your highlight. You don't need to disconnect forever, just long enough to protect what matters. 2 hours of undisturbed time can change everything. You could even write a novel, if that's your dream. The point is, the internet is a tool, not a master. And if you want to live a life that's driven by intention, not distraction, sometimes the best thing you can do is simply switch it off. Energize. So far you've learned how to block distractions, manage your time, and sharpen your focus. But here's something we often overlook. What if your lack of focus isn't due to a shortage of time, but a shortage of energy? That's where this part of the journey begins. Learning how to recharge your energy so you can make the most of your time. Think of yourself like a computer. You run on a battery too. When it's fully charged, you feel fresh, alert, and ready to take on the world. But when your energy is low, you feel drained, bored, and more likely to reach for social media just to feel some relief. If you want to give your full attention to your highlight task, your internal battery needs to be fully charged. And to do that, you have to take care of your body, because a healthy body fuels a sharp mind. That means eating nutritious food, moving your body through exercise, and getting deep, restful sleep. These basics aren't optional. They're your foundation for focus. Let's take the example of Sam, who dreamed of becoming a great basketball player. He used to train hard, 3 hours a day, 4 days a week. And on the days he missed a workout, he felt disappointed in himself. But life changed. As he grew older and became a father, his schedule grew tighter. Still determined to chase his dream, Sam would push himself to play for hours during a single week. only to burn out and stop again for weeks or even months. After each intense stretch, he'd feel exhausted. Sometimes he'd even get injured. His energy wasn't building, it was breaking down. One day, Sam hurt his knee. The next morning, while trying to sit at his office desk, he lost balance and fell from his chair. That moment made him rethink everything. He remembered something odd. Just the day before, he had gone for a short 10-minute run. At the time, he felt like it wasn't enough. It seemed too small to matter. But that day, he showed up to work feeling amazing. He had laser-sharp focus and ended up completing a major project he'd been stuck on for days. That's when it clicked. Sam didn't need long, exhausting workouts to feel good. Even just a few minutes of movement could lift his energy and sharpen his mind. From then on, Sam made a shift. He stopped obsessing over long training sessions. Instead, he made running a simple daily habit. Basketball became a joyful hobby again, not a pressure. And his energy? It stayed strong, steady, and sustainable. The lesson is clear. You don't need hours of exercise to recharge your battery. Sometimes, just a few mindful minutes are all it takes to reset your energy and fuel your focus for the rest of the day. So take care of your body. Move it a little each day. Eat well. Sleep deeply. You'll be amazed at how much clarity and motivation you unlock just by giving your energy the attention it deserves. Optimize caffeine. Do you enjoy drinking coffee? Most people do. But have you ever wondered if you might be drinking it the wrong way? For many of us, coffee becomes just another part of the routine, something we sip on during breaks or use as an excuse to get up from our desk. But the truth is, coffee is meant to wake you up, to give your mind a boost when you actually need it. That's why it shouldn't be used mindlessly. Instead of grabbing a cup during every idle moment, it's better to use caffeine with intention. Over the years, researchers have studied how caffeine works in the brain and what the most effective schedule might be. Experts generally recommend drinking no more than 2 cups a day, and not first thing in the morning. That's right. When you wake up, your body is already producing natural alertness hormones like cortisol. Drinking coffee too early can interfere with your body's natural rhythm. A better strategy is to wait until mid-morning. The ideal time for your first cup is between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m., when your natural alertness starts to dip. The second cup can be around 1:30 to 2:30 p.m., giving you a boost when afternoon fatigue begins to set in. If this routine doesn't feel right for your body, experiment and find the rhythm that suits you best. The goal isn't to quit coffee, it's to make caffeine work for you, not against you. Take the example of Ryan Brown, a man deeply passionate about coffee. He traveled the world in search of the highest quality beans, and even started his own coffee company. But beyond the flavor, Ryan was fascinated by how caffeine worked on a neurological level. He discovered that our brain naturally produces a chemical called adenosine. This chemical tells the brain when it's time to rest, creating that familiar feeling of sleepiness after a long day. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine. It mimics the shape of adenosine and occupies its receptors, preventing your brain from receiving the rest now signal. That's why you feel more alert and awake after a cup of coffee. But here's the catch. Once the caffeine wears off, all that pent-up adenosine floods your brain at once, making you crash. Unless you reach for another coffee, you'll feel tired fast. And the more often you repeat this cycle, the more your body adapts by producing even more adenosine to fight back. That's how the dependency begins. You drink more and more coffee, and when you skip it, you get withdrawal symptoms like headaches, irritability, or sluggishness. The very thing that once helped you stay focused now becomes something you need just to function. That's why Ryan decided to keep it simple. Just 2 cups a day, one around 10 a.m., another around 2 p.m. It was the sweet spot for him. He stayed energized without building a tolerance, and coffee remained a powerful tool, not a crutch. And that's the takeaway for you too. Be mindful of how much coffee you're drinking. Use it to fuel your focus, not as a substitute for sleep or a bandage for burnout. When used wisely, caffeine can help you stay sharp, present, and productive. But if you let it control you, it quickly becomes just another distraction in disguise. So take a look at your routine. Adjust your caffeine timing, and make sure your coffee habit is serving you, not the other way around. Conclusion. In this fast-paced world, many of us have become disconnected from our feelings. We've forgotten what truly brings us joy and what quietly drains us. Make Time was written to wake you up, to remind you that your life doesn't have to be driven by notifications, meetings, and never-ending to-do lists. Yes, responsibilities are important, but so is your happiness. You deserve to live with intention and fulfillment. This book isn't telling you to stop working. It's showing you that you can be productive and happy at the same time. You can meet your goals and still live a life that feels meaningful. You've learned how to identify the one task that matters most each day, the task that will bring you satisfaction, progress, or joy. This is your highlight, the anchor of your day. And once you've chosen it, the rest of your day should be designed around it. You've learned how to plan your time more effectively, how to block distractions before they steal your attention, and how to protect and boost your energy so you can stay focused throughout the day. You've also learned how to use caffeine wisely, how to make it work in your favor rather than letting it become a dependency that works against you. Now that you know these strategies, the next step is to experiment. Try them out, tweak them, keep adjusting until you find the routine that works perfectly for you. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, just a set of powerful tools you can shape into your own daily rhythm. Most importantly, remember this: make time for success, but don't forget to make time for life. Begin your day with something that matters to you, whether it's a small act of creativity, connection, or clarity. Let that be the spark that guides your day forward. Because in the end, the goal isn't just to get things done. The goal is to feel alive while you do them. And that brings us to the end of this powerful summary of Make Time by Knapp and John Zeratsky. If this message resonated with you, if you felt even a small spark to take back control of your time, your focus, and your energy, then don't let it fade. Start today. Choose your highlight. Design your day with intention. And protect your attention like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. If you found value in this summary, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who's always busy but never fulfilled, and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing book summaries every week. What was the most powerful insight you're taking away from Make Time? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, success isn't about doing more. It's about making time for what truly matters. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and above all, make time for the life you want to live.